Hey guys, I'm here to talk about highlighters today. It's my current obsession. I just love a fresh, dewy look on my face. I don't know, it just kind of, when I'm feeling extra tired, it's that little boost in my skin that I wouldn't get otherwise. I have big pores, I have oily skin, and I still like the way highlighters look. I mean, they may draw emphasis to your pores a bit, but I don't know, to me I just don't really find it to be that big of a problem. So I love them, use them all the time, and I just kind of wanted to go over the ones that I've had the most success with for my skin and for the look that I want to achieve. So the first one I'm just going to talk about really briefly are the Wet n Wild brand highlighters. I've got the Mega Glow highlighting powder in both Crown of My Canopy and Precious Petals. And I've also got the Mega Glow Illuminating palette. And I do not deny that these, look beautiful on the skin. They really do. They're very pretty. I'm very oily, and they don't last very long on my skin. I know others have used these and not had that problem, so if you don't have oily skin, by all means, give these a try. If you do have very oily skin like I do, I personally think you're better off just, I know they don't cost that much, but just saving your money and putting it towards something else. A drugstore brand that I do, however, like, and it's at a really great price point, is LA Girl, and it's their Strobe Powder, and I've got it in 50 watt. And at my Ulta, they have 50 watt, 80 watt, and 110 watt. I got 50 watt because I really wasn't sure which one to get. Now that I've tried it, I would happily get other colors. I know that there's more than those 3 colors if you just look online. I wore this for a night out and it outlasted my lipstick, it outlasted my mascara, my eyeliner, like everything else was smudged and I looked 10 colors of crazy, but my highlighter was on point. I was glowy. It, like, if the spotlight hit my face, I was blinding the crowd. Like, this stuff is so impressive to me, and for the price, you really can't go wrong with this stuff. Go in with an extremely light hand though if you like a subtle look, because this will get you straight to strobing in no time, which I love. But if you like a more natural look, just be wary that you can get super duper stroby glowy with this stuff. If you want something more natural, just use a lighter hand or perhaps go with a different product. Another product I've had great success with is the Ulta brand illuminators. I've got the Radiant Diamond, the Yellow Diamond, and the Pink Diamond. And even though these Yellow Diamond and Pink Diamond look white and pink, they are actually both quite golden. I'll just kind of swatch it and show it to you. So as you can see, they're not super white. They're really more of a gold kind of look to them. Really beautiful. But because they're so bright, it can get very unnatural looking on my skin. I tend to use the Radiant Diamond the most and then kind of layer it with one of the other colors. And as you can see with the Radiant Diamond, you can tell that this bad boy's had a few brush passes through it. It's really great. It comes out almost like a warm rose gold kind of color. It's beautiful. I use this a lot. Stays really well on my skin, doesn't melt off. Looks great. It's shimmery without being glittery, which I love. And Ulta brand stuff, man, you can always get this stuff on sale. Use coupons, this and that. So for those reasons, because I can get it for cheap, I really like these. I like the way they perform. I like the way they look. I like that you can layer them together. I mean, if they probably do, and I just haven't checked, but if Ulta put these together in one palette, instead of me having to have the 3 separate compacts, I would be really happy with that, actually. Alrighty. ColourPop has recently released pressed powder highlighters, and I got the, I don't know, I don't remember the name of the color of this one. It's peach with this beautiful gold glittery flecks in it. And this one is glittery, it's very subtle. And I don't know if all of them are very subtle, if it's just the color that I chose is very subtle. I like how subtle it looks. It kind of makes it a no-brainer for work. The only thing I kind of, you know, I guess I would warn people about is that there are flecks of glitter in here. And they're very small, and it's not like huge chunks of glitter like, I think it's the Urban Decay Naked Illuminating Powder. That one I find is like straight up glitter on my face. This is not like that, but there are flecks of glitter in it. If that's something that you try to avoid in a highlighter, I probably wouldn't go for these, but the first time I put it on, I just remember thinking it was so beautiful and I wanted like every single color. They've got a highlighter palette out there, I think it's called Gimme More, and it's got like this tangerine colored highlighter in there. I don't know, I'm very intrigued, very happy with this. Probably going to try to get my hands on that Gimme More highlighter palette. I haven't had one of their traditional formula highlighters, you know, the one in the little pot. It's kind of like creamy to the touch. I had one a long time ago, and I just remember thinking it was glittery more than anything else. But after trying this one and really liking it a lot, I may go back and try one of their other highlighting formulas again to see what my second impression is, because the first one wasn't that great. Okay. So this brand in general, I feel like I just have a love-hate relationship with it and its Physicians Formula. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like their quality is all over the place when it comes to their products. Like, some are great and some are just awful, you know? I've had a couple bronzers that are amazing and like my favorite thing ever, and I've had a couple of bronzers that are like orange, you know what I mean? And same as their highlighters. Like, there was the one that's got the pearls, you know, the bumpy surface on it, and it looks pearly white, and I put it on and it was just chalk and glitter. I mean, it didn't look good. This one looks really great. It's their Shimmer Strips all-in-one nude palette for face and eyes. This is the color Warm Nude. They got lots of little blocks so that you can use it as an eyeliner or eyeshadow or highlighter. I only use it as a highlighter. I don't know. I just think that these little blocks are just too small and too impractical, and the colors are too light for me to really try to make an effort to use this as an eyeshadow. Perhaps if I had lighter skin, I would make that effort, but since I don't, I won't. It comes with brushes, actually. I haven't used the brush that came with it, but it feels pretty soft. Like, I don't know, it might make a good highlighter brush. It's like a fat fan brush almost. I will probably try it the next time I put highlighter on, just out of curiosity to see how it works. And it also comes with this little like angled sponge applicator in case you want to use it as an eyeliner. I probably won't, but that's again because the colors are just too light. I don't know, I can't see this really showing up as an eyeshadow on me. As a highlighter, it works great. It's really beautiful. I love that you can customize the color that you want just depending on where you swipe your brush at the time. You can layer the different colors on top of each other. But as far as like drugstore brands, it's kind of pricey for what it is. It doesn't melt off, it performs really well, but I have used others that are a fraction of the price and perform just as well as this. So like if you're a hardcore Physicians Formula fan and you want to know which highlighter to try, because I do have quite a few, I recommend this one. I really like it. But I mean, unless you're specifically looking just for Physicians Formula, I don't know that I would really run out and buy this one. It's good, I like it. I just have others that are cheaper and perform as well as this one. So, you know, it's not a miss for me. It's just, you know, when I think of my priorities, I don't know that this one would be a top choice for me. Okay, I actually have a few BH Cosmetics highlighters. I love all of them. They're really great. The first one I'll talk about is the Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale line. And I've got the Illuminating Shimmer in Shimmering Sand. This is super natural looking, like, it's like you almost can't mess up, you know what I mean, because it's so subtle, but I love that about it. This is another one that it's a no-brainer for work. It's not glittery. It's very subtle. It just gives this really, really subtle sheen, like a very subtle glow. You almost can't see it, but when you put it on your skin, you definitely see the difference. It just makes you look fresh, and I love that. This is one of my absolute favorite highlighters for every day. I'm so happy I discovered it, and you know, if this runs out, which I don't know if it would because you got a ton of product in here, and it's also very reasonably priced, but this is one that I would, you know, always want to make sure I've got at least one in my makeup collection somewhere. And speaking of the Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale line, I also have her Beach Goddess palette. I've got the other one too, Night Goddess, but this one just is my favorite. It's not as pigmented as other eyeshadows out there, I will tell you that. But as far as the color combos in here, like I used this for my whole face. I used it for the contour, the blush, the highlighter, the eyeshadow. I used everything out of here, which is what I love about it. I love it for weekends. I love it for traveling. And the highlighter, I don't know if you can tell because I've also gotten a little shiny, but I feel like I can still tell where the highlight is versus where I'm just oily, and I love that. I love the subtle glow it gives to my face. The blush, if this is a blush, I use this as a blush, but it's very illuminating to the point where I can't see the color. I can only see the shimmer of it, which is not bad, but I mean, if you're looking for really pigmented blush, this isn't it. But this palette in general, even though it's not a highlighter palette, has highlighters in it, and it's just a great overall palette. I love this highlighter that's in here. I love the one that's by itself, that Shimmering Sands. They're both really great, and I don't know, I just love warm, bronzy, beachy looks anyway. I would be remiss not to talk about the Karity Bible palette. Another one that is not a highlighter palette but has highlighters in it, and these are also some of my favorite highlighters. They're beautiful, they can be subtle, they can be built up. The eyeshadows are awesome. I also have the newest Karity Bible Deluxe palette. I have it on display in my mirror, and I'm not going to crack into that baby until I've hit pan on this one. And I love the colors so much, and just as an all-around palette that has everything. I mean, it doesn't have blush, but you know, an eyeshadow and highlighter palette, this is one of my absolute favorites. The colors are great, the pigment's great, the blendability is great. If you're looking for something, you know, if you don't have a lot of space or a big makeup collection, this is another great one that just, I feel like it just has everything you need. I mean, it's even got the dark shadows that you can kind of use as a subtle eyeliner, and these actually work really well. I've used both of these like that, and fantastic. Karity Bible, she did a great job. Love her, love this palette. Not a highlighting specific palette, but the highlighters in here are great. They are so wonderful. From BH Cosmetics, I also have the Spotlight Highlight and Backlight Highlight palettes. For the price I paid for these, you get a ton of product. I have been using the Spotlight Highlight palette just about every day. I use every single color. Now, I don't use every color every day, but I have used pretty much every single color in here on a daily basis. You can layer it, you can wear them by themselves, you can make it subtle, you can strobe, you can do so much with these highlighters. And like, I don't know, I am so impressed with the quality of these, and I use these so often that like I don't even feel the need to foray into the higher end highlighters, because this is like my everything. That's kind of how I feel about all these highlighters, really. I don't even own high-end highlighters because these have met or exceeded all of my expectations. Not just these ones, but you know, all the other ones I've been talking about as well. The Backlight Highlight palette, I have read, you know, a few people have suggested it can be a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette. I don't own that palette, but I have swatched that palette. And it's actually the reason I bought this one, because I swatched it and I thought it was so fun. But I didn't want to pay, you know, $40+ for a palette I wasn't sure I was ever going to be brave enough to use. And this one, it was on sale and it was like less than $15. As far as a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to the Aurora palette. Like, this color is called Laser, and it looks white, but it actually comes off as like a really cool greenish kind of sheen. And these are very duochromy, and I don't know, they're really cool. Blacklight, I think, is an adequate description, because you can definitely get some really cool like blacklight looking looks with it. It's very, you know, it's almost like all your unicorn and mermaid makeup dreams come true, but I never do unicorn or makeup looks, or unicorn or mermaid makeup looks, because I'm just lazy. I don't know. I feel like I love the way they look, and it would probably take a lot of time for me to master doing those looks really well. And whereas, not that that's not important to me, I just don't have that kind of free time right now. But I will, and when I do, that Blacklight palette is going to be a main player in the game, baby. And the last one I want to talk about is the Karity palette. It's the first collection. Talked about it in my Karity video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'm still waiting patiently for the second collection. This is like my all-time favorite highlighting palette, which is why I really hope Karity puts the second collection back in stock. I'm waiting, I'm hoping, I'm wishing and hoping that it'll come back in stock, because I love this palette. You can make very subtle looks, you can make very dramatic looks. This color is Risque, and this is the one I generally use for the highlighting. Again, because it gives me a very subtle look, because I am tan. I think if you had lighter skin tone, you'd probably have a harder time creating a subtle glow with this one like I do. But there are so many other colors, and they all do such great things. And you could probably double these blushes if you wanted. I don't. I like a good matte blush, and then I just like to put this on top just for a little bit of a rosy glow. But anyway, those are all the highlighters that I'm crazy about right now. I have used a lot. I have found a lot that don't work for me. And all of these, I can highly recommend. I like all of them. I like the way they perform. Even with oily skin, they work really well. And I don't know, I love them. I love to glow a little bit. I love to look a little bit fresh, you know. We all want to look a little fresh and clean, right? And so hopefully this will help you out in any way if you were looking to dip your toe into the highlighter pond, or if you're already there and you're just kind of looking to add to your collection. These are all really great. I have a lot of fun playing with highlighters. For some reason, it's like, I don't know, because you don't really have to be an expert like you do with eyeshadows. Highlighters are so fun to me, and you can just look so youthful and fun and wonderful, and I love it. I think it's great. I hope this was helpful to you guys, and I will see you around again.